Saying goodbye to someone you've loved, man, it's got to be one of the hardest things any of us ever go through. So in this explainer, we're going to lean on the work of clinical psychologist Dr. Lasater to try and get some clarity on that really painful question. How do you know when a relationship is really over? And then how do you find the strength to actually walk away?
Right? This is the question. It can just echo in your head for months, sometimes even years. And it's so tough because it's not just about love, is it? It's about your shared history, all the inside jokes, the way your lives are tangled together, and, of course, that terrifying feeling of not knowing what comes next. It's no wonder this decision feels absolutely monumental.
But here's the thing. Before you can even begin to answer that big question, you've got to face what's holding you back. A lot of the time, it's not that you don't have good reasons to leave. It's that there are these powerful, unspoken fears that are keeping you completely stuck.
And let's be clear. According to Dr. Lasater, this is not some kind of personal weakness. It's a deep, fundamental part of being human. That fear of abandonment is so primal, so basic, that it can totally override your logical brain. It can convince you to stay in a situation that you know deep down isn't healthy, just to avoid that gut-wrenching terror of being alone.
So how do you start to cut through that fog of fear? Well, you start by looking for some objective signs, things you can't just explain away or ignore that suggest the relationship might be fundamentally broken.
Dr. Lasater gives us these as signposts, not just some simple checklist. And these aren't about small disagreements. They point to major foundational cracks. For instance, foundational life work. That basically means one of you just isn't ready for a real partnership yet. Or irreconcilable differences. We're not talking about who takes out the trash. We're talking about core values that you just can't compromise on. And, if you've really given professional counseling a shot and it hasn't helped, that's a pretty powerful sign that the gap might just be too wide to bridge.
But sometimes the decision doesn't come from a checklist at all. It comes from this deep internal shift. It's like a point of no return that happens quietly, inside one person.
Dr. Lasater has a name for this. He calls it the invisible emotional switch. It's not a big fight or some dramatic event. It's a quiet, internal moment of complete certainty. It's when one person just knows, deep in their bones, that they're never going to feel that deep love for their partner again. And he argues that once that switch flips, the relationship is, for all intents and purposes, over, even if no one's packed a bag yet.
And the fear of flipping that switch? Well, it's rooted in all this very real stuff, because a breakup isn't just one bad day. It's a whole cascade of incredibly difficult tasks. It takes up so much of your mental energy, it forces you into these awful conversations, and it makes you completely refigure out your social world, all while you're dealing with the pain of the loss itself. It's a lot.
Now, for the person who gets left, the experience can be especially traumatic. And Dr. Lasater uses this incredibly powerful metaphor to describe what that feeling of abandonment is actually like.
Just let that sink in for a second. It's not just feeling sad. It's a terrifying, disorienting, life-altering freefall. This quote is so important because it validates the sheer intensity of that pain, which can feel so isolating when you're going through it.
And the experiences for the two people involved, they just couldn't be more different. The person who leaves might have been planning their exit for months, slowly detaching emotionally, step by step. But for the person being left, it feels like a bomb went off. It feels like the ground just vanished from under your feet, leaving you in a terrifying free fall while it seems like your partner just walks away.
But here's the hopeful part. That Grand Canyon metaphor isn't just about the pain. It's also a map for how to get out. The journey starts with that free fall of shock. Then comes the desperate fight for survival, just clinging to any little ledge you can find. From there, it's a slow, painful, exhausting climb back up to solid ground. And it's only when you get there that the real healing can finally begin.
Okay, so you've made it back to solid ground. What happens next? Well, true healing takes more than just time passing. It requires you to be really intentional about closing the last chapter completely.
We have to try and reframe this period. It's so easy to see it as just an ending, a failure. But what if you saw it as a critical opportunity for growth? This is the time to look inward, to maybe identify your own patterns, and, ideally with some professional help, really understand your role in what happened. And this isn't about blaming yourself. It's about learning, so you can build a healthier, happier future.
And for anyone thinking about getting help, Dr. Lasater points out something crucial. Not all counseling is the same. You have to know what your goal is.
Are you both actually trying to fix it? Okay, that's relationship counseling. Are you both totally unsure and confused? That's don't know counseling, which is all about getting clarity. Or has the decision pretty much been made? Then what you really need is breakup counseling to help you both separate as respectfully and smoothly as possible.
Look, being truly ready and available for a new, healthy relationship means you have to deal with all the practical baggage from the old one. This isn't just about feelings, it's about logistics. You have to untangle everything. Your emotions, yes, but also your finances, any legal ties, all of it, to really truly clear the path for whatever's coming next.
And please, be patient with yourself. Dr. Lasater says that for a marriage or another really long-term relationship, fully finishing all this business and truly healing, it often takes 1 to 2 years, sometimes even longer. This is absolutely a marathon, not a sprint.
In the end, this journey is without a doubt painful. There's no getting around that. But the whole point of going through it isn't just to survive. It's to come out on the other side stronger and wiser. The goal is to use those hard lessons you learned down in the canyon and use them as the foundation to build a happier, healthier future that you probably couldn't have built any other way.